Hey guys, and welcome to the 11th episode of the Unity3D How to Make a Zombie FPS Game series. Now, this episode, well, we're finally on to a new episode, episode 11, after those, what was it, 7 parts for episode 10, sorry about that, but all that networking stuff is very content heavy and things like that. We will be getting back to that to fix up a few things and change a few things, but we'll get on to this episode for now. So in this episode, first up, the new Unity 4.6 has come out. So what you're going to want to do is just go to the unity3d.com website and download the new Unity 4.6. So just by clicking on this Unity 4.6, if it's here when you guys do it, or clicking download, then you can just click and download the Unity 4.6.1. When that is done, you're going to have to install it and everything, but you already know how to do that. You don't have to update yet, but we will be going through the new UI stuff later on in maybe the next few episodes. I'm not too sure yet. But next, what we're going to do, so for this episode, we want to you want to log into your asset store and you want to search for a few assets. Now, the first asset we're going to need is sample assets by Unity itself. Sample assets beta, and this is the new sample assets that Unity will implement into the new Unity. That is got heaps of new things and great updated features, which is awesome. So thanks Unity for that. But I've already downloaded and imported mine's there, sample assets. So what you're going to do is just download, install that. That should take a while. It's kind of it's 49.5 megabytes, but it does take a while to install. So then the next one we're going to do is to download the soldier character pack. And now this is just a free model assets. This one by Mixamo, so soldier character pack. Gives you 2 soldier models, these 2 here. We'll be working with this one today, but you just download, import that again, and as you can see, I've done that already. Where is it? Anyways, so what we're going to do is go into the sample assets folder. So when you import that sample assets, it'll just give it itself its own folder straight off the bat. So what you want to do is go into this and then go into characters, I think it is, yep, and then third person, prefabs, no, not first person, sorry, we want third person, characters, third person, animation, and you want to just copy, click on the first one, shift to the last one for Windows, and copy. I think we're going to have to Control C. I'm not sure if that works inside Unity. And go into our animation folder, paste. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so try to animation, maybe drag them, click, drag them into our animation folder. Alright, yep, that worked. So now in animation we've got all those animations, perfect. Then what you want to do is find the not in sample assets anymore, back to assets, go to standard assets, and in here is your soldier character pack, and what you'll want to do is copy this soldier over to it's going to try and duplicate it, but we'll just drag this guy, actually just drag him straight into your hierarchy, straight onto the game, into the game. So yours should be a little bit smaller than mine because I think I've already played with the import settings, but you want to click on the soldier inside the soldier character pack and change the scale factor to whatever suits your game. Fine, what size, but I found that 025 is perfect, well, pretty much perfect. You want to make sure rig is animation type humanoid, avatar definition create from this model. You want to make sure that this has a tick here, because that means everything's fine and that the T-pose is working and everything. So if that's not working, you want to go configure, save the scene, because it's going to go into this. And as you can see, all the bones are set up perfectly. So you can just click on the bones and change them around and things to apply to your model. But that's fine, we're done with that. And then in animations, we're not importing animations because it's got none on it. And we're just going to create our own. So we can go back to the original folder in assets. Yep. And then what we want to do is go under create and create a new empty, and see Unity's played with the menus a bit and it's actually quite a lot better. They've fixed a lot of the things up, which is really good, and I'm really happy about that. So in this one, this game object, we're going to rename that to player1, and we're going to tag that as player, and we're going to put him as a child of soldier for now, and set the position to 0, 0, 0, and this will be different for yours. I'm just trying to get the position to the 0 of the soldier, and then drag it back out above the soldier so it's its own game object. Actually no, sorry, back under it, and then change it to 0.25. No, wait, what was it? 0.5? No. Sorry, it was 2.5. I think I found was perfect, pretty good. And then drag that back out, and then you want to drag the soldier under the player. So now when you move it around and you put on some colliders and things, it'll be off pretty much the center of the game object. It's a little bit off, but that's fine for now. So what you want to do is, you've just got your empty game object, well, your game object with your graphics inside it. So what you want to do is, first of all, create a game object, and you want to create a camera, drag that and put it under player1, but keep it outside of soldier. So this camera is now your camera, and you want to set the positions to all of them. You want to set to 0 for now, and then just drag it up and find what suits about near the head level, and then drag it out just a bit, because you don't want to be looking into the game object. So that's about fine now, but I can play around with that later if I want to. And that should be right. Then in the player1, you want to go add a component and search mouse, and it's a mouse look component, and this comes in the standard assets under the character folder, I think it is. So mouse look, and you want to change this axis to not mouse X and Y, but only mouse X, because if you put it both X and Y, when you do move the mouse, it's going to move the game object with it, because it's moving everything under player1. You want to move it just X on this one, and I'll show you, we change this one to be just Y, but we'll get to that in a second. Then you want to add another component and call this character controller, and what this does is creates a collider, like a rigid body for it, and it then but it's a special one. So if you put a rigid body on, you can use a rigid body, but you have to lock a certain axis so that it doesn't just fall over, so that it's completely it's walking flat this way. It's hard to explain, but you want to make sure this character is covers the majority of your character. So the radius, I would say 0.45. Then you want to move the Z to position that in the center. Change the height and I found we want to change the radius. No, not the radius. The center position. I found that you need to leave it a little bit off because the animations are a little bit odd, and you need to make sure that the feet are on the under the ground sort of thing. So that should be fine. That should be fine there. So just save that. And there's only one more component we need on this object, and it is a animator. And from that, what you want to do is actually we need to put an avatar in there, and we chose to create it from the model, but that's in the original folder where that game object is. So what we want to do is drag this player object into our prefabs folder. And now we've got that player one in our prefabs. And actually put it in resources because we want that for the network. We don't need that one. So we need it for the network, so put it into the resources folder. And now if we open this up, no, it's not going to work for us. We need to go back to the folder, soldier character pack, and drag the soldier into the prefabs folder, just so that we can use it from there. And in the prefabs folder you can find the avatar. Go into the player and drag the soldier avatar under avatar. If you don't want to move it around, you don't have to, but I'm just making it easier so that if I do delete that soldier character pack, it's not going to affect anything at the moment. Or instead of having to drag it in, you can click on this and then go, it should start in scene, but then click on assets and find your one, so soldier avatar. That's the one we want. So then that should be fine. We want to apply that, and that's perfect for that one. We don't need to do anything to the graphics. We will remove this animator component because we don't need it, and go into the camera, and the one thing we do need to add is a mouse look script. Now in the mouse look script I said that we wanted a Y on this one, so both X and Y are being done. The Y is being done by just the camera, so only the camera will move along the Y, so we'll look like we're looking along the Y, but our body won't move along the way. Like, it rotates, so my feet start here, and if I look down, my feet will go up, and it'll stay like, it'll angle my body the way the look has got, the degrees that you're looking on the y-axis, if that makes sense. So then just click apply again. That should be fine. And one thing we do need to do is go into the networking, and you want to tick this off, tick the networking to be inactive, so we want it not active so that it doesn't bring up all those menus and things yet, because we don't want to do those menus yet. We just want to play around with the offline, in an offline mode sort of thing. So here we go, and there is our character so far, looking around, looking up and down, so it doesn't move our body over here. But when we look left to right in the x-axis, it moves our body around, which is perfect. That's what we want. Now, one thing we'll just test that, see how those legs are pretty much perfect, yet it's a little bit above it. It's got that leeway there, so that's just make sure that it looks okay, at least. Okay, now onto the animation side of things. We're at 13 minutes already, so we'll just try to get through this. Don't really want to make it a long video, so I can try and make another one. Also guys, sorry about the audio in the last two. My microphone kind of died, and my headset kind of died that I recorded on. So I'm recording on my PS4 one, which I just bought recently, and that's alright, but I've also ordered a blue snowball, so that should make the audio much clearer and much easier for me to record on, and make it much easier for me to edit and things like that. So that's awesome. What I am gonna do is go in our prefabs folder. We want to create, we'll just do it in our prefabs because it's here, it's where all our other stuff is. We'll right click, click create, and we want to create an animator controller. Now we want to name this animated controller player because it can be used for any type of player, any different skin in our game, but it's just for players because it's not like we can use it for zombie sort of things, but we want to just sort of I'm not sure. We want to make it different so it looks like they're more of a zombie, not just running around like a player. So then what you're going to do is double click this and it'll bring up your animator window. If that doesn't work, you can go window and click animator and then just put it wherever you want. Now this window is your animator window, and this is the Unity way of animating. It's pretty easy, pretty fun to do. Yeah. So what you want to do first is just get rid of this any state, just move it up into the top corner or something, and then sort of move around a bit, get away from it. You don't really need it. First thing you want to do is right click, create state, and create empty. And now this is your default animation, so as soon as this plays it's going to do this animation, but it's got nothing on it. It's called new state, it's nothing. So what we want to do is go into an idle animation. So we're going to call this idle. Speed just be 1. Oh, this didn't work. Idle, enter. Yep. Speed can just be 1 because I think that's the speed of the animation. We just leave it at 1 for now. Then what we want to do is just like the motion that this animation box is gonna make us do. So we're gonna click on that thing, go up to. Actually, no, we're not gonna do it that way. We're going to go to our animation, find an idle. There's an idle here, some idle. Open it up, click that button to open up, and this is the one we want. We want to drag this idle motion over, and that's our thing. That's perfect. It's done. Click save. Go to your game, click play, and oh, we didn't add it to our player. So now in our player we want to drag this, go into prefabs, drag this player animator controller and place it there. Click apply, save, and play. And now look, we are in a idle animation. So that's exactly what we want to happen. It's awesome. It's working. See, there's a little bit of weird thing going on with the feet there, but I mean they are free animations, so you get what you pay for, I suppose. So I keep saying geez, it's really annoying me. What is next is we're going to edit this animator controller again, and we're going to add in a walking state. So right click, click create state, and from a walking we want to be able to change it based on going forward and or left and right. So what we're going to do is create a blend tree which blends motions together, so it's a nice smooth thing. Depending on, say, if we're going forward and a little bit left, then it'll do sort of a blend between the two motions. So like a left animation will just go in the left direction. It'll just be like a circling left direction, but if we go forward and left at the same time, it's going to take us in sort of a straight curvy line that way instead of going straight in a circle that way. So that's what you use blend trees for. We're going to go up to here and change this and call it walk, and speed just equal to 1 again. Motions blend tree, we don't play with that at all, and that's fine. Now one thing we do need to do is go down to here, this box called parameters, click the plus, and that'll add a parameter for us, and we want to create one for speed and direction. So speed parameter will be a float, so that we can say, hey, we're going faster and faster, let's make our, so if we change the speed based on our keys pressed down, so if we're going horizontal we'll go to the walk animation, for example. Like if our speed's faster than a certain number, then we'll go to that walk animation. So we're going to call this one speed, and that's fine, and then click another one, and our direction will be a float as well, I think, if I'm not wrong, and I think that's right. So now we'll just go over here to the walk one, double click on it, and it'll open up our blend tree. So we've just gone in a level, so that's our base layer. Go back into our walk, and this is our blend tree, or our walk blend tree. So we're going to call this walk. We're going to select the parameter speed. We're going to add some motions, add a motion field. We're going to click this button again. Oh no, we're not. I said we weren't going to go through there. What do I add? A blend tree. Yep, add a blend tree. Sorry, not a motion. So minus that. So we only want to create a blend tree. We want to complete 3 blend trees. New blend tree. New blend tree. So, or is that wrong? Yeah, that's wrong. Damn it. Where is it? Add 3 motions. Yep, that's right. Add 3 motions, and in each motion, this one's going to be walk straight, like walk forward. This one's going to be walk left in a circle, and this one's going to be walk right in a circle. So we're going to go back over here to our animation. Going to go and find a walk. So here, walk. We're going to put just a straight walk in the middle, and then we're going to go to walk turn. We're going to walk left, put walk left down there, and then put the walk right in the walk right spot. So one thing we do want to do is change this parameter here to -1, so that 0 is in the middle, and then that's 1. That's a good way to have it. So 0 to 1, and we're not going to do speed. We're actually going to use direction. So when our direction is -1, we're going to go left. And when under speed is between 0 and 1, we're going to go right. And we're actually going to change this to I'm not sure. Wait. Oh yeah. Animation speed, that's fine. No, that, yeah. No. Automate threshold. Yeah, that's fine, and that's done, I believe. So now what we need to do is, that won't do anything now because this is our default. It's just going to straighten play this. If we make this our default, right click it and select as default, it's going to play this one, but currently our direction is 0, so it's just going to play our walking animation. So it's just playing. Oh, okay. Yep, it's just playing, but I'm not touching any buttons. It's going forward and I'm moving my mouse so that it's walking forward based on the thing. So we don't have to have those left and right things there, but it makes it a little bit more convenient that we don't have to move the mouse, and we can press the buttons and we go left or right. So that's fine for now. We're going to go back into our controller, and we're going to change this one back to default. And the way to get to these is to make a transition from idle to walk. So right click, make transition, and then right click on walk, make transition, and click on idle. Now on each of these transitions, you can click on them, and it will tell us when it'll automatically tell us what work out the best way to transition between them two. But we're going to change these conditions to speed, so that when our speed is greater than 0.1, we're going to send that, we're going to transition to our walk, and we're going to keep playing the walk until we go over to this one and we say, hey, our speed is less than 0.1, then we're going to go back to idle. So if we click play here, and we go back over to our animator controller, and we change our speed, if we change our speed to 0.1, it's not going to do anything. 0.2, it's going to start walking. Now if we go play that again, go back to the animator, if we go to negative 0.2, oh, that doesn't work. Okay, wait, no, yeah, that's right, that's perfect. We don't worry about negatives in speed. Then we want to go to, say, our direction 0.5. Let's try and see if this works. 0.2. Oh no, okay. Oh yeah, it is. See, it's turning. the directions working and where our speed is working as well. Perfect. So our blend tree walk is working, and now all we need to do is pass it the parameters, the actual numbers, values for the speed and direction. So the way you do that is code it, but I'm going to have to end it here. It's 25 minutes in, or it's going to try and keep it shorter. So I'll see you in the next part for this episode. Thanks for watching. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks guys.